This is Sunday Night Football, okay? We're talking about Sunday Night Football. New England at Denver. What usually has a little extra juice to it because this has been this matchup over the last few years, especially when Peyton Manning was playing there and it was Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. This matchup we saw in previous years when Brock Osweiler got a victory against the New England Patriots team.
Yep.
So this matchup is interesting. But I'm not going to go so far as to say to start Brock Osweiler because I'm not betting against Bill Belichick with an extra week to prepare. That's the most that I can say about this. I know that New England's defense in past weeks we've said pretty much start anybody playing against New England's defense, but they are trending.
But Brock Osweiler's in his own little category.
And not only that, but they're trending up and they've had 2 weeks to prepare.
Yeah.
You got to trust Belichick in those situations.
Does Brock finish this game?
So what, is the Paxton Lynch show begin tonight?
They say he's not healthy yet.
So
By the way, Paxton Lynch is bad at football, too.
Yeah, no,
He's
this is
not going to save them.
John Elway might come out and try and play football for these
John
guys.
Elway might be the best quarterback in that facility.
No,
That's not named Tom Brady.
No, I would 100% agree with that. He might be able to come out and do more than what is happening for the Denver Broncos. Now let's talk about their other offensive pieces. You're not starting Brock Osweiler. I got a couple of questions about C.J. Anderson. C.J. Anderson has totals of 9, 15, 10, and 9 over the last 4 weeks. When you're a running back, those are horrible numbers.
It's not great.
Horrible numbers. He is way too risky. I am not starting him. It is not good. I got to stay away. I have him in one of my leagues, and he's riding the pine. He's riding the pine this week because I cannot afford to have. That's a Chris move. You got to ride the pine because C.J. Anderson, when he is not getting the football, I think offensively they're just confused as to what they're doing. He was way more involved in the offense when Trevor Siemian was a quarterback towards the beginning of the season, but he just hasn't been the same guy over the past few weeks.
Their offense is so anemic now that it's not in rhythm for anybody
Great word
involved.
to use. Yep.
Devontae Booker's kind of like a Chris pick-up, wait-and-see approach, but you're not starting him today.
Can we look up the latest on Demaryius Thomas? I know Emmanuel Sanders is playing in this football game. The issue with them is that Thomas is a hamstring injury, Sanders is an ankle injury. So you got to monitor their status. Obviously, this is a Sunday night football game, so you can't. If you're worried about them and you have a better matchup or a close matchup, I don't really think this is going to be great for either of these guys. Demaryius Thomas hasn't been great. Emmanuel Sanders I give the slight edge to over Demaryius Thomas. And the Denver defense has been a fantasy disappointment this year. They're very good against the run, but they give up touchdowns, they give up points, and mostly that is because their offense is so atrocious over the last few weeks that they have to be on the field making tons of plays.
Demaryius Thomas cleared for Sunday Night Football. Participant in practice on Friday and did not have an injury designation for tonight's game.
Perfect. So that means those guys are going to be in the matchup. We already talked about Emmanuel Sanders starting. Now let's talk about New England Patriots.
Okay.
Let's talk about those guys here. Obviously, I shouldn't have to tell you to start Tom Brady.
Or Gronk, for that matter.
I hope I don't have to tell you to start Tom Brady. Brady, obviously, I got a couple of questions about that. Brady or Goff. I do think that is an interesting. I do think that is an interesting scenario here, only because Goff's matchup is more favorable. He's also at home versus these guys who are on the road. I'd love to hear you guys' take on that, whether or not you'd start Brady or Goff.
Goff against Houston. Tom Brady against Denver.
It's a tough one for me.
I might go Goff.
I'm going Goff.
I go Goff in that matchup.
I think I would go Jared Goff as well, but obviously you can never go wrong with starting Tom Brady. And if you have Tom Brady, you're definitely starting him. Let's talk about also the Denver run defense, how elite they have been. But I expect that they're not going to run the football that much. What they are going to do is James White is going to be a must start because of the fact that he can catch passes out of the backfield. He involves himself in the offense. I'm staying away from Deion Lewis. The only other running back there because of his utilization out of the backfield is Rex Burkhead in a deep PPR league. Is there anybody else you guys like here?
Not really.
No.
Gronkowski, obviously.
Don't get cute with Martellus Bennett this week.
No.
Yeah.
And if you're not a Gronk owner, you shouldn't own Martellus Bennett either.
For sure. I mean, it's always going to be the Gronk show there. Martellus Bennett, obviously, he is familiar with this offense, but you don't know what you're going to see from him thus far, and he was very poor, and I mean very poor in Green Bay. And there's been some obviously funky, extenuating circumstances. He's accusing the Packers, doctors of making him play through injuries. Now he's made a miraculous recovery. It's a bizarre situation hanging out with Martellus Bennett. But I want to know, is there anything more Belichick? Is there anything more Belichick than not paying a guy, letting the guy go to another team, the guy gets cut and he comes back to the team? Is there anything more Bill Belichick in the world?
No.
Trading first-round picks. That's about it.